Welcome to the Office of the Leader of the Opposition coverage of the consideration of estimates for Budget 2023 live from the Arthur Chung Conference Center in Guyana.
Welcome to Budget 2023 Update and Analysis. Today is day 2 of budget estimates review. And we saw yesterday, a lot of things happening here in Parliament. We started out the day with a visit from Miss Letitia Wright, better known as Cherie or Black Panther, from the movie, who visited Parliament, talked to the parliamentarians, took pictures, etc. And then they went into budget estimates and questioning, where we saw them doing constitutional agencies. We saw them doing the Office of the President, the Office of the Prime Minister, and quite a few other offices were done. You had Ministry of Legal Affairs, Foreign Affairs, all these the Public Service Ministry as well, and Ministry of Amerindian Affairs were all examined yesterday. Today, they are basically in the room already, but I just want to give you a quick rundown of the ministries that we'll be looking at least for the first half of today. And today, we're supposed to start off with the Ministry of Agriculture, followed by the Ministry of Tourism, Industry, and Commerce. And that will be followed by the Ministry of Natural Resources and the Ministry of Public Work, where we know the majority of this budget will be going to responses in terms of the questioning line and the responses given by the government in terms of our monies being spent in this budget 2023. So I just want to remind you that throughout the day today, we will be showing you the budget estimates as they are read, and the opposition MPs will be questioning the government ministers responsible with their staff on what is in that budget. So let's take a look at the floor. I do believe, let me see who is on the floor. We have Dr. Frank Anthony on the floor, not sure why, because we should be starting with the Ministry of Agriculture, but let's take a look.
On the 9th of April 2018, well, first of all, on the 9th of April 2018.
Oh, so they're doing questioning before they go into estimates.
Our Ministry of Public Health, as it was known at the time, decided supervisory form to look over the construction of
what we're actually looking at there is some questions being asked before they actually sit in committee to discuss budget estimates. So we can follow. I'll be back a little later this afternoon as we sit down with our MPs to talk about the answers being given today.
$8 million. But from the Auditor General's report, the Auditor General stated that little or no work was done by the end of December 2018. Mr. Speaker, in 2019, Mr. Speaker, in 2019, again from the Auditor General's report, he stated by the 29th of July 2019 21 months after the signing of the contract. 21 months after the signing of the contract. Site. 3 workers were working. Mr. Speaker, VICAP, who was contracted to supervise this work, said there were numerous instances of substandard work. And they have many examples of substandard work. For example, on the 11th of February 2019, ground beams were found to be substandard. And these defects were pointed out. And when they were tested, they all failed. And the testing for these cubes were done at the University of Guyana and at the Ministry of Public Works at the time. All failed. And so they had to break out the works that were done there, and they had to do back a whole set of works, which added to the cost. Mr. Speaker, in 2020, on the 8th of September 2020, works remained incomplete. And again, as per the Auditor General's report, when they visited at the time, there were 4 people who were working on the site. So they improved by 1. And this was 9 months after the project was scheduled to be completed. As such, the Auditor General recommended that liquidated damages should have been instituted, but there was no evidence that the ministry implemented any liquidated damages. At the end of 2019, the contractor received $304.5 million, or about 85% of the contract sum. And payments were made, Mr. Speaker, without valuation of 6 payment certificates, which total about $233.1 million. There was no valuation certificate. And works